And we are back. Mock draft time, the first of the season. Boy, am I excited. Quick rundown. It's going to be 2 rounds with trades, and this is after the wild card. So, the divisional fruit Super Bowl, that's not determined yet. This is just what the order would be like after the wild card. Starting out, first overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft is actually not going to be the Chicago Bears. As I said, we're going to do trades. We're going to start out early. We're going to use the Chicago Bears. We're going to trade with the New England Patriots. New England currently holds the third overall pick. And in case you are curious, we're not going to mess around with making these trades go through. Just know that we're trying to make the trade happen. The only thing I would do to make trades go through is if it would be in the first or second round of this draft. So starting out, first overall, the New England Patriots, they are going to get their guy, Caleb Williams, quarterback out of USC. Jared Mayo, he's already trying to make big strides for this team. This pretty much will more than likely end the Mac Jones era, and well-deserved. At number 2, we have the Washington Commanders. They are also going to take a quarterback. They're going to take Drake May, the quarterback out of North Carolina, though. This pretty much is 1A, 1B with these two quarterbacks. It's pretty much who you prefer. In this sense, I feel like a lot of teams prefer Caleb Williams more. I feel like the Patriots with Jared Mayo probably do. Bill Belichick is a different story. The Bears at number 3, I have them taking Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense to trade down again. I mean, you already gathered whatever picks you're going to get from that. Let your mind decide. So yeah. At number 4, we have the Arizona Cardinals, and I have them taking Malik Nabers, wide receiver out of LSU. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing names wrong, by the way. I don't watch college football, so I have no idea what these guys' names are. Neighbors, it just sounds right. Or maybe it's Nabbers. I don't know. At number 5, the Los Angeles Chargers. I have them taking offensive tackle Olumuyiwa Fashanu. I have them going with him over Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. Penn State. I don't know why. I just feel like this is something the Chargers would do. I don't know how accurate this is. But I feel like same thing with these two is 1A, 1B with which one you want. So, yeah. At number 6, the New York Giants. I have them taking wide receiver Rome Aduns, wide receiver out of Washington. I just feel like they could really use a wide receiver, especially with guys like Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton's future there being unknown. I don't think Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt are going to hold down the fort. Tennessee Titans at 7, I have them taking Joe Alt, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. At number 8, I have the Atlanta Falcons. This would be a great spot to take Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU, but I actually have them taking Dallas Turner, edge out of Alabama. The thing is, I think they would wait for quarterback because there is so many quarterbacks who will go in the first or second round. I feel like they're going to take their chance with trying to get one in the second round because, no offense, I think 8 for the next quarterback, no offense, Jaden Daniels, I don't think you're that good. Is not worth it. I think that would be a reach. At number 9, though, I have the Chicago Bears taking Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama. It just makes a lot of sense for them. I mean, Jalen Johnson is potentially going to hit the free agent market. So, I mean, this will be a great replacement. Rounding out the top 10, we have the New York Jets. They're going to give Aaron Rodgers some help. They're going to take Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State. At number 11, I have the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to take cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. I just feel like this really fits for them. At number 12, I have the Denver Broncos, and they are going to love this pick, taking Jaden Daniels, quarterback out of LSU. I don't think they're planning on rocking with Jarrett Stidham, and it is more than likely over for Russ in Denver. So, yeah. At number 13, the Raiders, this really sucks for them because they could have really used a quarterback. However, like I said, I don't think there are any quarterbacks who are worth going in this spot. That doesn't mean teams aren't going to reach for one. I have them taking Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington. He's projected to go 28. This is PFN, Pro Football Network, by the way. So, yeah. At number 14, I have the Saints. They're going to be taking, in my opinion, Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. I mean, Brock Bowers, I've heard a lot of good things about, top 10 talent. The fact he's fallen to 14 really should mean they should go after it. And he's really the only team I could see taking him. There is a few teams. I could see the Chargers, and I could see the Jets taking him. But other than that, I don't think there's a team who would take him that early. And I feel like those teams just are able to get a way better valued position. The Colts at number 15, I have them taking, bear with me, Laiatu Latu. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I definitely did. Edge out of UCLA. He just feels very right for this team. Edge was a big need for them coming into the draft, and the fact that you're able to get him really just kind of works out. The Seahawks at 16, I have them taking Cooper DeJean, something, cornerback out of Iowa. One of their top needs is cornerback. They're able to fill that right here, right now with that pick. And also, it does screw over the Jaguars, who their top need, as you can see, is cornerback. And in my opinion, they could easily take one of these two edge rushers in Chop Robinson and Jared Verse, but I actually have them taking Jerzon Newton, defensive tackle out of Illinois. Once again, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. So, the Bengals at 18, the final non-playoff team, I have them taking, and it just kind of fits, J.C. Lapham, tackle out of Alabama. It just makes sense for that team. Their O-line has always been an issue, and here they get a pretty good O-lineman to, just kind of fit the need. And it also, as you can see, screws over the Rams, whose top need is an O-lineman. But their second need is an edge rusher, and they're going to take Jared Verse, edge out of Florida State. And that's going to bring up the Steelers at number 20, who I have them, once again, also, they have a lot of O-line issues. I have them taking Talais Fuaga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State. Once again, just kind of fits their needs while also screwing over the Dolphins. But I have them taking cornerback Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. It's a top 3 need for them. Xavier Howard is not getting any younger, and he has not looked like his old self. Granted, he still is very good. It's just, how much longer is he going to be playing at that elite level? And how much longer do the Dolphins want to risk him just falling off 1 year and having a huge contract? The Eagles now, at 22, I have them getting Jalen Hurts some help, getting them a wide receiver, not Brian Thomas, but Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. It just feels more like a pick the Eagles would take. I have no idea why, but I'm going to go ahead and give them it. The Texans, their top need is wide receiver, but their second best need is Chop Robinson, edge out of Penn State. I mean, even though it's not your top need, the value for that pick is just unbelievable. The Cowboys, they have a big need, offensive line help. Not necessarily because their offensive line sucks, but because their offensive line is getting very old and it's not getting any younger. However, I think they're going to take Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker out of Clemson, to fill that gap. And this brings up the Green Bay Packers, who, since the Cowboys did pass on an offensive tackle, it gives them a chance to draft Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia. And the Packers, by the way, are the first team with an unofficial spot. 25 through 32 are all teams who are going to be starting around this range. It's not official due to playoffs. The Buccaneers, now, it says their need is quarterback, but I'm sorry. I just don't see a possibility they don't re-sign Baker with how good he played. I think they're going to give him some help, though, and take Troy Fautanu, guard out of Washington. I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced that. Here we have Arizona picking. This is in place for the Texans, I believe. However, they are not going to be making this pick. I am going to have them trading. Only one spot, though, so nothing severe. With the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's accepted. So, the Chiefs move up one spot to get the guy they want. And, boy, they need to get Patrick Mahomes some help. They're going to be taking Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. Giving him the help he deserves. Now we have the Cardinals move down a spot. They still have the guy they were looking for, though, in Leonard Taylor, defensive tackle out of Miami, Florida. The Bills at 29. This just makes sense as well. As you can see, their second biggest need is safety. Their first biggest is cornerback. And their third biggest need is offensive tackle. The top three positions. However, I don't think they're going to pass on a safety at this spot. So I'm going to give them Cameron Kitchens, safety out of Miami, Florida. Back to back. The Lions now at 30. I have them taking a different approach. As you can see, cornerback is their top need. However, I don't think they want to take Kamari Lassiter. I think they really are going to value Kalen King out of Penn State more. Going to go ahead and take him, which is going to be great for the 49ers because they're going to be able to grab Kamari Lassiter, cornerback out of Georgia, with the very next pick. And, of course, to round out the first round, we have the Ravens. Unfortunately, there were two cornerbacks who they could very easily have taken, but both of them just got taken back-to-back before them. But they are going to get Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU, offensive tackle. So, they're going to fill that need. Starting out, the Carolina Panthers now. They could have picked first overall, however, they traded it last year to get Bryce Young. They got the first pick in the second round, though. They better make it worth it. As I have them taking a bit of a reach. Taking Xavier Legette, wide receiver out of South Carolina. It just feels like a good pick for this team. Now I have the New England Patriots. They are also going to be taking a bit of a reach. They're going all the way down to 39, skipping over Ladd McConkey in order to grab Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas. Back-to-back wide receivers, back-to-back Xavier's going. Now we have the Arizona Cardinals ready to make, I want to say this is their third pick in the top 35 picks. However, Arizona is stockpiling draft picks for future years. They don't see a need to draft this time around. They're going to go ahead and give their pick to the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be moving down 3 spots. And with the Titans, they're going to go ahead and grab, in my opinion, the next wide receiver. We got to hit resume. Ladd McConkey wide receiver out of Georgia. So we are seeing a run of wide receivers going right now. That brings up the Commanders. They might be regretting taking a quarterback so early. As you can see, the top 2 players right now, both quarterbacks. So that really does suck. But I do have them taking Graham Barton, offensive guard out of Duke. So yeah. Next we have the Los Angeles Chargers. And here we have another trade going down. I have the Chargers. They are going to be trading with the Minnesota Vikings. They are going to be moving down 5 spots. That is a bit of a jump. But for the Vikings, I think they're going to re-sign Kirk Cousins to a 1, maybe 2-year deal, but get their quarterback of the future in J.J. McCarthy. It just feels like a great spot for them. Like I said, they could have drafted a quarterback earlier. They decided to go corner. And here they get a quarterback early in the second who could have easily gone in the first. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They traded down with Tennessee, so, now they're picking again. We have a bit of a run with trades going. I have the Cardinals. They're going to be taking T'Vondre Sweat, defensive tackle out of Texas. It is a bit of a reach all the way down at 44, but I feel like it's a big need, and I feel like this team is only trying to get better as we talk. So, next we have the New York Giants. They could very well take Bo Nix. The only issue is he is on the older side of quarterbacks, and you still have Daniel Jones for 3 more years, and he is expensive, plus Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito. I wouldn't rule them out quite yet. I think they're going to stay put with the room they have now, and they are going to take Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. I don't know why safety isn't much of a value need, but they're going to get it done. Next, we have the Commanders. Same thing with them. They might regret taking a quarterback so early, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think here they are going to be trading down with the Atlanta Falcons. It is free spots, so it is a decent jump. But the Falcons decided to pass on their quarterback chances with Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy. But they are going to get Bo Nix, quarterback out of Oregon. He could potentially be their guy of the future. 41, we have Green Bay. I have them taking Quinion Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. Getting some help in that cornerback position. Gets very injured now all of a sudden. And they got rid of Rasul Douglas. I feel like this is going to be a great pick. Especially because you don't know how Eric Stokes is going to do. He's been injured so much. The Packers are even going to keep hold of him. Here we have the Chargers. Originally Minnesota's pick before they traded up. And I have the Chargers taking Cedric Van Pran, center out of Georgia. Getting another need of theirs done. Really just taking a lot of O-line picks. Building up that O-line strength, so you gotta love it. Here we have Washington, formerly Atlanta. And I think they are going to be taking Troy Franklin, wide receiver out of Oregon. In my opinion, this could be marking the end of Curtis Samuel in Washington. So getting a nice young guy to kind of replace him would be very nice. We have the Raiders now. I have them taking Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Once again, they're trying to build up that O-line for their new quarterback. Who knows if it's going to be Michael Penix, Aiden O'Connell, or Jimmy G starting. We really don't know. But New Orleans, here at 45, are going to take Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle out of Arizona. Same thing with them. They're rolling with Derek Carr for another year. They're going to try and get the most they can out of him, give him the protection he deserves. We have another trade folks, it may not be very severe, but I will have the Indianapolis Colts be trading one spot with the New York Giants. And I have the Giants taking Trey Benson, running back out of Florida State. I think they're going to try their best to re-sign Saquon Barkley, but here's the thing. I don't think Saquon Barkley wants to play there anymore, and I don't think the Giants are going to be willing to franchise tag him again. So they're just going to accept defeat with Saquon and get their new running back of the future. Now we have the Colts moving down one spot. They're going to be taking Cooper Beebe, offensive guard out of Kansas State. We have the Jaguars now. In my opinion, they're going to be taking Brandon Dorlus, edge out of Oregon. Here we have the Bengals now. I think they are going to be taking a tight end, Jatavion Sanders, tight end out of Texas. They've kind of had these rounding doors with tight ends, just signing guys to one-year deals. I think they're going to finally stop doing that and get their guy in the future. We have the Eagles now. I think they are going to take TJ Tampa. He is a bit down here, all the way down at 58. But Philadelphia, I think, knows their needs, and they are going to address them. Next, we have the Steelers. I think they are going to be taking Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon. Once again, with the Steelers, they know their needs. They're really trying to build up this O-line. I think they're going to be rolling with Kenny Pickett for another year. Him, Mason Rudolph, I don't think Mitch Trubisky's not under contract. Yeah, they're going to be trying to roll with him, though. Now we have the Rams. I think they're going to be taking Chris Braswell, edge out of Alabama, to bolster up their defense, give, Aaron Donald some help. I mean, we saw how good that offense is with Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee. They're going to roll with that. Once again, we have the Eagles. I know they just picked, but they got another one. I think they are also going to be taking a running back. As you can see, he's a bit down the board. Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas. Quite frankly, I don't know if they're going to be able to bring back DeAndre Swift or Rashad Penny. I think they're going to really try and bring back Swift from a year max. So, Jonathan Brooks is going to kind of be that next guy. Cleveland, I think, finally, was projected to go at 49, lands a spot. Byron Murphy, the second defensive tackle out of Texas. Browns getting an excellent guy. Yeah, it sucks that they had to wait till 54 to have a draft pick, but they got a good guy there. We have the Miami Dolphins now at 55. I think they're going to take Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackle out of Ohio State. It really sucks. They could have just had Byron Murphy, but unfortunately, he went one pick before. We have the Cowboys now. I think we're seeing a bit of a run of D tackles. I think they're going to take Rook or Horo, defensive tackle out of Clemson. 57, this is where the Buccaneers are picking. Same thing here. We're at the spot now where these picks are not finalized. These are just the teams who are still competing. Order's going to vary. I think they are going to take bolster up their O-line, Patrick Paul out of Houston. 58, we have the Packers. I think they are going to take Jalen Ford, a linebacker out of Texas. Going to bolster up that defense. Linebacker has been a big concern with how injured, these guys are, constantly rotating with injuries. They're going to get another guy to potentially help and improve it. 59, I have the Texans. They're going to take a bit of a reach. They're going to take not Jalen Polk, but Malaki Corley, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky. Give another receiver for C.J. Stroud and that offense to work with. At 60, I have the Kansas City Chiefs taking Braylon Trice, edge out of Washington. He's just going to fit so well there, in my opinion. I have the Bills now at pick 61, taking Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M. I think it's just going to fit super well there. So why not? We have the Lions now at 62. I think they are going to take Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle out of Michigan, keeping local. At number 63, hate to spoil it, but our final trade, 49ers going to be moving out of the second round. And if you remember, the Chargers traded back 5 picks. That's going to give them enough to be able to trade back up here. It is a bit of a jump, but I think the Chargers here are going to take, we got to resume draft, Ennis Rakestraw Jr., cornerback out of Missouri. Get some help for Asante Samuel, now that J.C. Jackson's gone, back with the Patriots. Yeah. And finally, to end us off, pick 64, I have the Baltimore Ravens taking McKinley Jackson, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. So this is my draft. We're going to quickly scroll through all the teams. As you can see, Malik Neighbors, Leonard Taylor, and Tavondre Sweat. We have Dallas Turner and Bo Nix. We have Kingsley Suamataia. I'm not going to say all their names. I'm just going to scroll through. You can pause to see your favorite team's picks if you'd like. We're going to kind of just go through super fast. But this is my first mock draft. Remember, I don't know a lot about college football. The most I usually do is I will watch Ohio State every week, assuming I don't work during that time. That's about it. I don't watch, I'd love to watch the national championship, but some company, ESPN, who, you can't have unless you pay for cable, which I do not have, own exclusiveness to it. So, yeah. But there it is. Here is the first round, in case you are curious, is what we're going to do it in kind of. There's round 1. Why it does that, I have no idea. I should just do 17 next. That's very weird of them. And here's the second round. Yeah. But remember, I don't watch college football. This is just pretty much judging off of position needs and where they project them to go, PFN. So, yeah. Sorry about mispronouncing names. I'm sure I mispronounced a ton of them. Don't worry, I'll get better once, they make it to the league and I actually have to start studying them. Big news, though, is that EA's College Football is going to be coming out, I think it said July 12th this year, which is huge. I do plan on getting that, so maybe that'll help my knowledge with college football a bit. And hopefully, I'm praying it's not Madden, where it just sucks. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. Let me know how you think I did in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Which I don't think I'm going to be doing it on our mock draft until after the Super Bowl. So yeah, this is kind of going to be just my sneak peek mock draft. I might do one after the championship game because it's going to give me 2 weeks to do something. So maybe a mock draft then, but other than that, yeah. So I will see you guys next time with it either being a mock draft or power rankings or maybe some fun video. I have no idea. But goodbye. Hope you enjoyed.